Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Turf Today podcast, presented by True Turf, Roll-In Perfection. My name is Adam Kershane, and I'm always joined by my buddy, Trevor Larson. Today's a little bit different because Trev's actually in the car. It's a bit of a fun ride for him, and a little bit of a fun ride for us, so buckle up, as they say. Today we have Stacie Zinn Roberts joining us, and this is a really cool interview. I got a kick out of doing this one. There's some really cool stuff. So she is a turf marketing guru who's been around golf courses for a long time, and she's got some great stuff to share with us. So she is also the co-creator of the Spray Caddie. So we get a little bit of information about that towards the end of the show. All right, let's go find this guy, figure out where he is, what he's doing.
I'm in the armpit / taint / butthole of California. I'm almost to Bakersfield.
Oh, wow.
I think the only thing good about Bakersfield is that's where Gabriel Iglesias is from. And other than that,
Not a whole lot
Sorry
going on down there.
people.
I played hockey down there one time. There was a team. There wasn't a whole lot going on.
It's 104 degrees outside right now.
Oh, dude. Dude.
I'm
That
in
is
the
hot.
car with the AC on. So
Yeah, so where are you going?
I am going to one of my best friend's baby showers in Turlock, which is another small, tiny, central cow-filled town of California.
Nice. That'll be fun.
We're in San Diego actually expecting a literal hurricane.
Oh, no.
So, watching the weather, seeing how that's going to be. I've seen reports anywhere for the city that my course is in, from either 0.01 of 0.1 inch of a rain to 5 inches of rain.
Cool.
So no fucking clue what's going to happen this weekend. But they're expecting 50-mile-an-hour winds and a lot of rain. But if you look up, just Google the hurricane coming, and we have a literal hurricane heading towards San Diego right now.
Shit. That's not good. So fucking pin everything down.
Nope. Fucking take it away.
Not going to work, eh?
I don't give a shit. Destroy the whole fucking course.
At this point, eh? That's awesome. Oh, fuck.
I mean, it's the only way I'm going to be able to get new greens. There's at least 6 greens on my course, to no fault of my own. It's just old. They're old, and they have tree roots literally in that. There's at least 6 greens that need to legitimately be completely rebuilt for drainage, design-wise, the roots in them. So it's hopefully all of those greens get severely fucked up.
And then everything else just stay the same and be good.
Sure, why not?
Nice. Well, we had our club championship this weekend, and it's been fucking raining the last few days, so of course it's a little wet, which isn't ideal for a big weekend like that, but golf is played outside, so it's all a part of it.
You guys can't just turn the rain off?
Not yet. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's been a summer for rain up here. We've really haven't had a chance for things to dry out. It's been pretty saturated all year. Every square inch of the course has been really green, which at some points of the year, usually you get some rough and some fairways that start going a little brown just because of the heat. And we didn't have any of that this year. So it's just been a little bit different, I guess.
It's funny that where we're at, or where I'm at, August is just the beginning of the heat. We get our hottest time in September. And you and a bunch of other East Coast people or Eastern people are talking about, it's been really wet, and it's hot and humid. It's only going to get more hot. That's super weird.
It's only going to get worse. When do clubs have their club championships down in the States? Is it all over the place?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Some would have them at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, They can have it literally anytime they want. I truly have no idea. I'm not a member anymore. So
Hmm.
no clue.
Yeah, let us know, when do you have your club championships? Is it around this time usually? Is it, later? Is it towards the end of the year, like Christmas time? Or yeah, it'd be interesting to know.
Hell yeah.
So I didn't see any questions from Yard Heart this week, but we definitely got one from Colin, and we definitely got one from Voice Talk Dave. So
Of course we do. Those are our staff members.
yeah.
They're on they're on the they're on the cloud payroll.
Hmm.
Those are
They got a couple of good ones. So we'll start the show off right here. Turf Guy 52, aka Voice Talk Dave. All expenses paid, 7-day vacation. Where are you
whoa.
going and why? What do you think?
Oh.
That's a tough one.
Um
But if everything's paid, and I'm assuming you can either bring, like your family or your boys, like what kind of trip is this going to be?
yeah, it's what I mean, am I going on a vacation with my wife or am I going on a boys golf trip? Like that it needs to be a little more specific.
I guess so. Well, we've done our courses we want to play, so why don't we say all expenses paid vacation for you and your family, or you and your significant other? Where would you go?
Hmm. I mean, I've already been, but I want to go back to Norway really bad. It'd probably have to be like a European excursion for the like three different countries at least. Something like that, or like Australia. I think I'd go out there and
Yeah.
try not to get eaten by some wild fucking creature. And then, yeah, it'd be something like that. I don't know. That's such an open-ended question because there's very little places where I don't want to go.
Right.
Um, yeah, it has to be somewhere dope and somewhere expensive, obviously, if it's already going to be paid for.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I think if something's going to be paid for, and like you said, if you can do 7 days, but do it in a few different countries, especially over in Europe, how you can kind of bounce around like that, that'd be pretty cool.
You can bounce around the EU super easy. It's just trains.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, we've all watched Euro Trip, fucking unreal movie,
Well, yeah, it is. It is actually very real considering it was a movie that you watched.
and I'm sure some people
I
have
don't
lived
think my
that life
stupid
too.
jokes land as hard in the car. Oh
There's
hell
a
yeah!
little bit of a delay too, so it
But
throws things off.
like the non hash brownies part of that movie is hilarious.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Those are not hash brownies."
Yeah. So no, that's a tough one. But I don't know. I've never really thought about it. It's not like I have a place that I romanticize about, like, oh, I want to go to the Eiffel Tower and be in Paris, France for 7 days, and do this, and this. I don't know. I've talked to the wife about it, but she hasn't traveled much, so I'm sure there's some places we could go.
I don't think I've ever heard a dude say, "Oh my god, I want to go to the Eiffel Tower and do romantic shit in Paris."
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't have any places like that, any bucket list places like that. But I don't know if my wife would be down for that either. I think she'd want to do something a little more fun.
Yeah, I haven't heard other than like some of the food. I haven't really heard good things about Paris. I heard French people are a bunch of assholes. Which, if you're listening to the show, you're not one of those assholes. And this is hearsay. I've never been, but we're definitely going to go. My wife's obsessed with Disney, so we have to go to Disneyland Paris. So we'll go, and then I'll have my judgments.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, we'll skip over Colin's question. We'll get that one a little later because it's a little more sciencey. But I wanted to hit you with this one. I've been waiting to hit you with this one. Mark Prier, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It
Of
puts you
course
in
it
the
is.
Christmas spirit, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's not. I mean, that's not even like. It's a no-brainer.
Hmm.
So sorry that the answer wasn't that fun.
No, yeah. I think it's definitely a Christmas movie. Some people would maybe argue that, but it works. So Mark also, he threw in a second one. He asked this one, which ties into the other one we were talking about, but your favorite foursome to have and where would it be? Well, that's guys are digging deep this episode.
Well, so then I can do the same thing with the first question: is break it down more. Is it a foursome with your favorite all-time golfers, or do these people have to be alive? Is it like people in general? Like, there's a gazillion ways to answer it.
Yeah. Well, he said your
So
favorite foursome, so I guess it would be like, which guys would you want to have out there?
the course would be Augusta National. That's no shit. Like,
Mhm.
if you have an opportunity to play there, you play there. Duh.
Yeah, you can't pass that up.
It would have to be Rob Dog, or else it would be fun to go and play there and not have him play there so I could rub it in his face forever. But
Yeah.
Rob Dog would be in it, and then just to make it fun, I think I would have to go Victor Hovland and Bubba Watson. So then we could have a righties versus lefty kind of match there. Victor Hovland, he likes metal like I do, and then Bubba Watson's always been one of my favorites, and him and Rob would be left-handed. But I mean, Bubba would have the upper hand being a previous champion, but I think that'd be super fun.
Yeah, that would be a fun match too. They'd have to put that on TV, be on some sort of network.
I really don't think Rob and I are worthy of playing golf on television.
No, but if there's enough money on the line, though, you never know. Between those two guys, could be enough.
I don't know if either one of those are betting guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. See, I was gonna say it'd be fun to play with Tiger and Rory, but I'd also be shitting my pants. Like you'd feel like such a piece of shit hitting the ball beside those guys. Like, oh, sorry guys. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I think that'd be pretty cool too.
The difference between you and I on that one is I know I can play golf. Nowhere near as good as them, but I can play it.
You can still hold your own, yeah. You'd still hit some great shots.
Those fucking two. Yeah, I'm not gonna shank one or top the ball or slice it and shit like that. I'm not gonna go out there and shoot 100. Probably.
Well, that's good. You're beyond all that now.
Yeah, I feel like I am. I haven't even shot upper 80s in I don't know 6, 7, 8 months.
Well, it's pretty good. I mean, you play quite a bit, so it's good that you're getting dialed in. Have you been getting better and better as you go? Like when you first kind of started, you were a baseball player and then you got into golf. Have you gotten better and better?
Yeah, anyone who works at any craft or anything is going to get better and better. Obviously, there has to be, I don't know about somewhat of a natural talent, but I mean, I grew up playing golf, so I've been swinging a golf club and swinging a baseball bat my whole life. So like that motion is there. You gotta have some talent. Not saying that I'm fucking spewing with talent, but I've won a couple of tournaments in my day, so I can toot a horn a little bit.
You can do it, yeah.
All right, you guys know why I'm here. I'm here to talk about True Turf, our amazing sponsors. And to just break it down to the basics, I want to throw this out. Just some of the benefits of rolling. It increases speed. It promotes smooth surface. It allows for raising the height of cut while maintaining the green speed. It aids in the incorporation of sand and top dressing, which we know. And it can also help in correcting the soil heaving and the mower scalping in some regions with freeze and thaw. I know we've definitely seen that up here in Canada. Also, it's been known to help reduce algae and dollar spot disease. So rolling has its benefits. If you need a roller, or if you want to try a roller, check out True Turf, because they are number one in the rolling game.
This whoa. That it just passed a semi-truck going because he was swerving around like he's drinking some Canadian beer.
Hi, Stacie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Thanks for joining us. We actually have Trevor in the car right now, so he's driving, but he's with us and we've been chatting. So,
hi, Trevor.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Am I still on like a delay? You as well.
you have a little bit of a delay, like you're calling into a radio show kind of thing. It's fun. But
hey, long time listener, first time caller.
You guys are both on the West Coast together.
West Coast, Best Coast.
Nice.
Sometimes I got a hurricane coming towards me, so we'll see how best it is in a while.
That has just been the craziest thing. When I heard that, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Well, something that's going to be super fun to clean up.
Well, I spent 25 years in Florida, so I know from hurricanes, but we didn't have hills there. So I'm concerned for landslides and that kind of thing for you guys.
Yeah, we get enough rain in the winter that most of the landslidey places are pretty slid out. Um, my course is at the bottom of a bunch of hills, so I'm kind of just worried about turning into a giant swimming pool.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I'm sorry that this is going on for you. I mean, I know that there's what's it been 86 years, something like that, since San Diego has seen anything like a hurricane.
Yeah, we broke our rain record earlier this year, late last year. We broke the rain record from 81 years, and now we're gonna have this thing. So it should be fun. I've already had people asking me like, "Oh, what are you doing to prepare for it?" And it's like, "What do you mean? Like, you can't prepare for this. It's just you let it happen and you just work it from there."
Well, the only thing that you can do is it's going to be like a Cat 1 when it comes on, right? It's down from a Cat 4, isn't it?
I have no idea. I'm born and raised in California, so this is a whole new experience.
Okay, well here's a quick rule of thumb. I mean, I could do a Cat 1 all day long. It's just rain. But that was Florida where it was sand. Once you get to a Cat 3 or a Cat 4, the wind is what you're worried about, and then storm surge. So I don't think you're going to have to worry about storm surge because the wind is coming east to west instead of west to east. You know, it shouldn't be pushing water on you. It depends on where the landfall is. If landfall comes from the Pacific side, then you could have storm surge. That just happened in Naples where I lived a couple of years ago. Well, actually last year with Ian and the year before. And they had storm surge that never ever happened. That's when people drown.
Yikes.
And that's what happened in Fort Myers Beach. People drown. But so if you're if it's coming in from the Pacific instead of whipping around the other way, then you're worried about water. If you're Cat 3 or Cat 4, you're looking really about high winds and the type of winds that could throw a 2x4 through a glass window, you know, like, or into the sides of buildings. So what you're going to think about is how high the winds are, and then securing loose stuff around the equipment sheds, you know, bringing in all the patio furniture, bringing everything in that you can so it doesn't fly around and damage property or people.
They're calling for up to 50 miles an hour. We're somewhat inland, so I'm a little less worried about it, but they're also calling for more rain inland than they are on the coast because it's kind of coming southwest, like it's sweeping up Baja California right now,
Right.
and it's kind of gonna like skid over us a little bit, and I don't know how deep into the eye of the storm we're gonna get. I mean, obviously, even miles from the eye of the storm is gonna be pretty gnarly, but you know, who knows exactly what's it, like I was saying, like it's all new for us, so it's kind of like just gonna let it happen. And I mean,
Well, this episode's gonna come out on Tuesday, so I'm assuming this is all gonna kind of happen from between us recording and the episode coming out, so people will be able to kind of figure out and follow what had happened in California.
Hopefully you'll be okay.
I get to keep an eye on it from 6 hours north, so I won't even be around. Basically, I'm gonna have to drive back down from Central California into it on Sunday when they're saying it's going to hit Sunday. So I'm going to be driving through it potentially on Sunday. So we'll really see how bad it is then, especially because I'll have to go through LA to where if there's a light mist or sprinkle, people forget how to drive because everyone in Los Angeles is an idiot. So that'll be super fun to deal with. While me from Northern California where it rains a lot, there's no difference for me driving in the sunlight to the pouring down rain.
The difference in a hurricane is horizontal rain. It doesn't fall from up to down. It goes sideways and horizontal.
Yikes.
So you may want to rethink that ride.
Yeah.
I got to get home.
Yeah.
My car's aerodynamic, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
He may be flying.
That's awesome.
Be
Yeah,
safe.
I'll put a kite on it.
Stacie, we're really excited to have you on today. We wanted to obviously start things off. Trevor and I are both big Philadelphia Eagles fans, and you're from Philadelphia. So are you an Eagles fan as well?
Go Birds, baby!
Woo! Well, I grew up an Eagles fan, and I was, even the whole time I lived in Florida for those 25 years, of course, was an Eagles fan, and I still am an Eagles fan. However, I married a Seahawks fan and live in Seahawks country.
Right.
So,
That's
mostly,
okay. The Seahawks aren't a threat.
right. Hey, they have been. They've broken our hearts. So the only time I really have a challenge is when the Seahawks and the Eagles play one another. Then I've kind of got to wear two T-shirts at once. And I have to decide which one's closer to my heart. And my friends and family from Philly will say the green is below. Yeah,
Nice.
The green is closer to the heart. So we'll see.
Yeah, the darker the green, the closer to the heart. That's how it is.
That's right.
Nice. And then so you moved down to Naples, Florida, and you were there for a while. So what took you down there?
Oh, well, it was the year between my junior and senior year in college. My parents had always wanted to live in Florida, and they moved. My father retired. He was a Philadelphia police officer. So he retired from the police department, and they moved to Florida, and then he became a deputy sheriff, which was kind of cool. And I finished off college at the University of South Florida in Tampa. So I followed my family and stayed there for 25 years.
Nice. And it wasn't a turf grass degree, right? It was something else?
Yeah, I have a degree in mass communications.
Mm-hmm.
So radio, television, and film, and marketing. So
Yes.
That's what I studied. But living in Florida, I lived in Naples all those years. Naples has more golf holes, or at least they did, per capita than anywhere else in the United States. So just out of self-defense, I took golf lessons. And then I wound up writing for the Fort Myers News Press during the real estate boom in the early 90s and late 90s, early 2000s. And I was invited to play in all these golf tournaments because most of what they built were golf courses that were double loaded with condos down each side. So they were residential golf courses. So that was part of what I would cover for real estate. And so in order not to make a fool out of myself, I took lessons and learned to play. And it has served me well because then I understood later on in my career when I actually got into golf and sports marketing that I knew how to play. So I knew the language.
So you've been in the industry for a long time, but more or less working on the other side of the turf because you've never actually worked at a golf course, but been in, I would say, the turf industry this whole time.
Yeah, I actually started on the equipment side. I was the advertising manager for a chain of Ace Hardware stores, and they also had a lawn and garden center where they sold Toro equipment at Steel and Echo. And so I came at it from the equipment side, and I decided that I didn't want to be in retail marketing long term. And one day Turf magazine came across my desk, and I was always a writer first, like since a little kid I was published. So I reached out to the folks at Turf magazine and started writing for them. And that's how I really got deep into golf and turf.
Nice. What would you say would be your first job then in kind of the turf or golf industry?
The first job would be working at the lawn and garden center because I handled all the co-op marketing for the equipment manufacturers. So I would understand how they were marketing their product and actually work with their marketing departments, because there's such a thing as, I don't want to get too in the weeds on it, but there's such a thing as co-op marketing. So all the different manufacturers have a bucket of money that they give to retailers to advertise their product. So I had to learn what their product did so that I could write radio and TV commercials and plan the print advertising using their marketing materials. That's how I started. And then started writing for Turf magazine. That was really the
That's what kind of launched you into things then?
Yeah, when I started writing for Turf magazine, I would basically, what I would do is travel the country wherever I wanted to go on vacation, pretty much, and line up some interviews at golf courses and meet golf course superintendents, take pictures, and interview the superintendents, who are, my obviously my favorite people on earth. I married one quite on purpose. And so I wherever I was going, I would line up interviews and get to tour some really great golf courses all over Southern California, where I wanted to go. Southern California, all over Florida, obviously, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So I'd go visit friends in Philly and do stories. It was super fun. And
that's a cool gig, being able to go on vacation and get paid to work. Yeah,
exactly. That's how we kind of pay for the trip. It's that like, okay, well, I'll do 2 stories that'll cover the airfare and all the rest is gravy. And then I get to, do something fun and meet really great people and walk. I walk the golf course.
With all the marketing and everything, did you ever get to write any sweet jingles?
Well, I'm not a musician. Sweet jingles. Wow. Thousands of articles and hundreds of commercials, radio scripts and TV scripts, but never actually a jingle. I sang in the choir in high school, but I think that's as far as we want to go with that. I'm not really musical.
I think we need to have a Turf Today podcast jingle.
That would be good.
I'll tell you what, I'll write the lyrics if you can get somebody to do the score.
I think we have to have a fan challenge for the members, for people to send in voice chats like Voice Chat Dave with a Turf Today jingle.
Have a little competition.
Ooh.
Oh man, that'd be a nightmare. It would also be really funny.
I think you should do it. I think you should open it up and see what you get. Challenge. And if you don't get anything good, then I'll do it for you. How about that?
Deal.
There we go.
Done.
So from all those trips you took and all the interviews you did and everything like that, is there any funny stories that you'd like to, or you'd be able to share with us today from that?
Learning about goose dogs, bird dogs. I remember going to Vegas, and there's a course right on the strip, right next to, it was called McCarran at the time, right? The airport in Las Vegas. And they had border collies on the course because they were afraid that you picture the desert. It's a big brown swath of land. And then you've got a postage stamp from above the ground, above the air, of a golf course, and it's right next to an airport. And the superintendent had a fleet of border collies to chase the birds, because the birds would be flying on whatever migratory pattern and see something green, drop down, and they were in the flight path of the airport. So that really wasn't funny, but it really drove home to me how ecosystems are really interdependent, and what superintendents could do to protect not just their golf course and keep birds off the grass, but to keep people safe as they were flying in and out of Vegas all day long. That's the first thing that kind of jumps out at me, and it's not funny, but it's like,
that's crazy.
Reality check.
Those dogs don't know that they're doing that important work like that. That's cool.
Yeah. And then
I feel kind of bad because as soon as you said that it wasn't, of laughing silently because I thought it was funny. But I'm also a horrible person. So
you think you won in the casino and then you have a bird strike. That is not good. So the dogs were the hero there. The dogs and the superintendent who was smart enough to do that. There are lots of courses all over the country that use dogs for that reason, to keep them off the turf. But this is like public safety. Yeah. So that jumps out at me as one of those trips.
That's really cool.
And then you said, so how did I really get into turf? So after that, after I started with Turf Magazine, I was sent to do a story on a sod farm that was in Central Florida. And I met the owner of this company who licensed grasses. He put up money to help fund research at universities, specifically the University of Florida. And he needed a marketing director to help him launch his company and the grass brands worldwide. And he asked me, I'm getting in the car to leave. And he's like, why don't you come work for me? And I said, well, I have a job. Thanks very much. And he called me for about 3 years. And I thought, why am I afraid to take this man's money? He's a nice guy and is willing to pay me a lot. What's my problem? So I took the job and became the marketing director for a company called Environmental Turf. And I did that for 8 years. And in that capacity, named turf grasses, worked with the University of Florida and other universities and researchers, and really learned the ins and outs of turf and sod production and the differences between all the families of turf grass. And eventually, the main grass that they had was a grass called Sea Dwarf Seashore Paspalum, which some of the listeners may remember was the green at the Rio Olympic golf course when the Olympics first came back as a Olympic sport in 2016. After 100 years, golf was finally an Olympic sport. So Sea Dwarf was the grass on the greens there.
Yeah, the Olympics. So you had a hand in the Olympics, actually.
Well,
technically?
Environmental Turf was a licensed producer there in Brazil, grassed both the greens and all of the surfaces. And actually, two of my clients wound up being the turf grass producers there. So Sea Dwarf was the greens, and Zion Zoysia from Blade Runner Farms, David Doge in Cotuí, Texas. He developed that grass and licensed a producer in Brazil. So when the golf course was announced that they were going to, this is kind of fun. When the golf course was announced that they were actually going to build a golf course because the Olympics were going to have golf again, there was, of course, you can imagine the political intrigue in the background, trying to be, from all the side farmers, trying to be whose grass would be used for this inaugural golf course. And when I was at the GCSA show, so this would have probably been 2014, 2012. No, yeah, 2012. And I was talking with Frank Rossi, who's a well-known turfgrass professor, and he was a consultant on the job. And he gave a talk at the GCSA. And I pulled him aside and said, Frank, do you know what grass it's going to be? And he told me that it was going to be Zion for sure, everywhere except for greens. And my client was there on the show floor. So I said, thank you very much. This is like the biggest scoop out of the show. Then I ran down the hallway to the booth where golf course management was, because I've written for GCM for years and years, and pulled aside Scott Hollister, who's the editor of GCM, and said, okay, I just have the scoop. I know what grass is going to be on the Olympic golf course. So Scott says, okay, tell me. I tell him. He breaks it. He breaks the news. It goes out on GCM. They had a daily update, and then it was all over. It was nationwide news, because everybody was just absolutely going crazy about the Olympics picking up golf again. I think I had it on the news before I even got across the show floor to tell Blade Runner Farms that it was going to be their grass. So that was super fun.
Wow.
To break that. Yeah, and it's just because I just ask a lot of questions and try and put myself in a position to ask the right people the right questions. I think that's the key.
Did that lead into Tahoma?
Yeah, absolutely. It did. So I was fortunate enough, and I'm still fortunate enough to work with the folks who developed and market Tahoma 31. And I was at a conference with Blade Runner Farms, and I met Brian Walker, who is now, he's one of my best friends in the world. I love him. And Brian is very well known in the sod industry for sod production. And he was working for a company called Riverside Turf, which is a parent company. It's a sod farm in Charles City, Virginia, and they're great people. And they started a company, as Brian is their employee, called Sod Production Services, and they bid on a bunch of different grasses. They had Premier Pro Bermuda grass for a while. That was Milt Engelke's grass. He was out of Texas A&M. When Brian left Riverside Turf and Sod Production Services, they hired a former golf course superintendent named Chad Adcock, who is a champion of a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Chad worked with the folks at Oklahoma State University. He knew that they were coming out with this amazingly cold tolerant Bermuda grass. And he asked me to put together, or help him put together, the proposal to Oklahoma State University as to why Sod Production Services and with my company, Your Avacado, together, why they should allow us to be the marketing agency to take Tahoma 31 worldwide. And so we put together a proposal, and we were competing against lots of huge companies. I mean, basically it was Chad and I and the 5 people in the office at Riverside Turf and some of my subcontractors that I work with, graphic designers who are really terrific, and web developers. And we won the bid. We won the bid.
Nice.
Which was mind blowing. So it took more than 6 months for us to land on the name. It's super, super hard to name a turf grass or any kind of plant.
Yeah, what goes into that process? Because that must be, and especially when there's a group of people too, you got to come up with something together.
Exactly. So there's a collaboration, and everybody's throwing out different name configurations, but every patented plant then generally gets trademarked, and they need to bring it to market. So you're talking about apple trees and pineapples and blueberry varieties and turf grasses are all competing for names. So you really have to come up with something that's a fictitious name. On top of, you're watching the nightly news every night, and you've got Cialis and I mean, how many different pharmaceutical names?
Oh,
do you know,
yeah,
right?
you can't even keep track.
They all have an X in it, right? They're eating up every type of word that you can think of. So it was really, really a challenge. It took us more than 6 months to come up with a name. And I was sitting in my office one afternoon, and we had gone through so many different iterations, and we couldn't get it to clear legal because these names weren't available as normal words. So
what were some of the things you guys would try, if you don't mind?
We were looking at Elevate. We were looking at, that was really a big one. We wanted to do Elevate, and it couldn't clear. There were lots of different iterations, but that was the one that everybody really wanted, Elevate Bermuda grass. Couldn't get it. And then I said, we're trying too hard. We're overthinking this. And I shut my office door, and I said, let's go back to the beginning. It's the most cold tolerant Bermuda grass on the market. It's Tahoma 31 is being used in Colorado.
Wow.
I mean, think about that. It's a warm season turf grass. It's being used in the Mountain West. And it's so cold tolerant that it'll survive, but it's so drought tolerant that the water systems, the water boards in Colorado are actually paying homeowners to rip out their cool season grass and put in Tahoma 31 to save water.
Interesting. Is that how far north you've seen it so far, or is it come even further?
That's amazing. Yes, it's Colorado, Indiana, New York, places that are traditionally transition zones or cool season grass areas.
Sorry, I'm looking at a big dust tornado.
Uh-oh.
I lost you guys for a second. I'm in the middle of nowhere, but there's a monster dust tornado going on.
Oh, geez.
I'm
Stay
about
safe,
10
bud.
feet from it. Oh no, it's just a big dust devil. It ain't anything that's gonna hurt nothing, but that's still pretty wild to see.
It's like a Dorothy tornado.
Yeah.
Not quite. I don't see any cows. At least it's not a sharknado.
Yeah. What are you driving right now? Got something small, or you got some weight to it?
Just my Bentley. Because Turf Today pays so well that I get to just ball out. Now I get to drive right through this thing.
Wow.
Go, you pansy! It's just wind, and this person in a new car. I'm driving through it right now, and it didn't even wiggle my car. So it ain't that strong. All right, back to the fun stories now that I've interrupted.
Okay. So we were talking about where the name Tahoma 31 came from. So I shut my office door, told all my staff to leave me alone, and I went. I said,
That's what I always think about.
Yeah, it's like the dream. We got to go back to the beginning. And so I started thinking about Oklahoma. Oklahoma State University has an exemplary turf grass breeding program. And I thought, how can we kind of honor that? And so if we use something that sounds like Oklahoma, Lahoma, Mahoma, Tahoma. I thought, Tahoma, that's interesting. And I started Googling, Lahoma was already taken. That was already some kind of plant. But Tahoma came up, and I felt like I was struck by lightning. Tahoma is a Puyallup Indian word that means frozen water. Like, oh my gosh. It's actually where the word Tacoma, Washington, which is where I am. I'm in Washington State. Tacoma, Washington is named after Tahoma, which is what the Puyallup Indians called Mount Rainier, but it means frozen water. So if we were working on the story that Tahoma 31 was the most cold tolerant grass out there, and we could call it something that means frozen water, that was a home run. And it cleared legal. And so we developed the logo, and we put a snowflake right in the middle of the O, just to drive it home, to tell that story. But that's how the creative process works. We went through 100 iterations until you just kind of say, okay, you're making it too hard. Go back to the beginning, and then the rest is history. That's how it works sometimes,
I just sent you the picture. Trevor sent me the picture of him driving. I sent it to your Instagram account.
Oh, that's wrong.
He drove right through that. Oh my gosh.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh yeah.
That's the stuff you guys
Kona
get
gets
down
through anything.
So
it's just a little wind. That hurricane's not going to disturb you at all. It's just a little wind.
No, it didn't even rattle my car. Now I'm talking shit till the weather, and it's just going to punish my golf course
guy.
now. So, well, we talked about the Eagles earlier, and Adam brought up something about you being involved with the Super Bowl somehow, and now I'm very curious if it was the most recent heartbreak of a Super Bowl or the glorious 2017 Super Bowl.
It was the most recent heartbreak of a Super Bowl.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So, okay, so here's the backstory on that. Lincoln Financial Field, which is the home field of the Philadelphia Eagles, is grass with Tahoma 31. The link is grass with Tahoma 31.
I've stood on it. It's fantastic.
It's
beautiful.
a beautiful field, and they do overseed in the fall. But all spring training, and not spring training, all preseason, they play on straight Tahoma. They don't overseed till in the fall. So they've been playing on Tahoma 31 for several years now, as do the several other teams. The Ravens, the Titans, there's so many. But the Eagles are used to.
I have one quick side note before I lose my fandom. I meant 2018, not 17, for the Super Bowl. That was the best one. It was 2018. Just to make it clear, because I heard myself say it, and I said, no, that's wrong, but I was already talking too fast to fix it.
Okay. All right. So let the record show that Trevor corrected himself. Okay, good. So we get to the Super Bowl. And there's a lot of controversy. We know that the way that the Eagles play is that, a pass rush game, and the field was very slippery, and there's all of that. But we know that the NFL has played on this grass for years, and I have to be very diplomatic, because the NFL is a very important customer, and we want the players to be able to play on natural grass as long as possible, because it saves their bodies.
It should be 100% natural grass. There should not be artificial turf in any NFL stadium or practice facility. It's ridiculous that they're even trying it, when statistics and everything just show that they blow out ACLs and knees way more on the artificial shit, pardon my language, than the natural grass. It's ridiculous.
Amen. Yeah, it's absolutely true. So what happened? Well, we saw what happened in the game, and the Eagles did not win, which
we don't have to talk about that.
It broke our hearts. So then my marketing hat has to come on, because all of a sudden there's all this hate coming at Tahoma 31, and there's nothing that we can say, because you have to be very, very delicate. And the most wonderful thing actually happened is that the turf industry, golf course superintendents and sports turf managers, overnight, the Super Bowl is over at whatever time in the evening, and in the overnight hours, the industry starts to come out in defense of the grass, and they did the forensics for us. We didn't have to give reasons why the field perhaps wasn't what we had hoped that it would be. And so the turf industry stepped up, and George Toma, who has done every Super Bowl since the very first one, got beat up in the press, and he came out and made some statements. And as a fan of his, I've met him several times. He's a wonderful man. I was really saddened to see that he got beat up, but George stood up for himself and issued some statements, and then he retired, and everything's fine now. But I can tell you that from Sunday till about Wednesday, my life was not easy, because you're in a crisis communications situation when I was not able to use my training in public relations and marketing to issue a rebuttal type statement. And so that's like standing in front of your green and watching it go up in flames and not be able to put water on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like. So I am just so grateful, and everyone at Sod Production Services and Oklahoma State University was just so grateful to see all the members of the turfgrass industry put out YouTube videos and tweet about and write blogs about for months afterwards about agronomics and what actually happened. Oh, that was 3 or 4 days of hell.
Mm-hmm. That would have been tough for sure.
Yeah.
But you guys pulled through, and like you said, this community, there's so much support. That's one thing that we found through this is the amount of support and how everybody's trying to root for each other and see each other succeed. It's amazing, and then that's a perfect example right there of how everybody kind of, you know, rushed to your aid and was able to kind of defend what you guys do and what the grass is supposed to do. So it's perfect.
Yeah, and who wants? I mean, Tony Leonard, who's the sports field manager for the Eagles. I mean, he uses the grass. Can you imagine what it felt like for him? I mean,
yeah, it's tough.
So the industry really stepped up, and I that's why I love what I do,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, sports turf managers and golf course the superintendents are the best people walking around out there.
Yeah, and the fact that you guys are able to just go through that whole process and not try and cover anything up and it just be very natural, and you know, that's good. And obviously things are good now.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's Tahoma 31 is grassed on a half a dozen NFL stadiums. It's Razorbacks football, Razorbacks soccer, LA Dodgers. I mean, just about every sport. Philadelphia Union soccer. Yeah.
It's busy.
Our industry knows grass, so we weren't worried about that. What was terrible, as a Philadelphian, I must say, what was terrible is the hate mail we were getting.
No.
Not death threat level, but pretty bad emails from my Philadelphia brethren.
The lengths that the fans will take, they'll actually go after the company that designed the grass or that created the grass. That's wow. Well,
you know, you go to a Philadelphia football game and they're throwing stuff and kids. So I'm one of them. I know.
Oh, that's funny. The only ever Eagles game I went to, somebody pulled the fire alarm and nobody moved. They kept playing the game. Me and my dad are like, should we leave? Like, what's going on? And it was just, nope, nobody moved. We just kept going.
That's good stuff.
They won the game and it was a big party. We couldn't even get out of the parking lot. It was a lot of fun though.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Are you sick and tired of getting your hands all dirty and everything all dirty when you go out and spray, especially with that green dye? Well, you need a Spray Caddie. And folks, we've been telling you for a while that you need a Spray Caddie. And people are starting to tell us that they love their Spray Caddies. Go out there, have some fun with it, use it, promote it. It's an awesome product. It's something that should be on every single sprayer. It's a product that could really help you and really could benefit your golf course and the people that play there. So if you want one of these things, check them out, spraycaddie.com. Oh, and don't forget to use promo code TURF today to save a little bit extra. So let's switch gears here really quickly. We don't want to keep you all night, but one of the big reasons we brought you on is because you've been a big supporter of ours, you and your husband, as the creators of the amazing Spray Caddie. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that whole process of how that came to be and where you guys are at now?
Okay. Well, Rob and I actually met at a Golf Course Superintendents Association meeting in San Diego in 2010. And so it's this really fun marriage of my understanding of the golf business and golf marketing and Rob's absolute passion for, because he's an assistant superintendent and has been at the same course in Washington State for 25 years. So he's an incredibly talented, creative person. I love him, but almost more than that. I have such tremendous respect for him. And
That's amazing.
Oh goodness. And he's so creative. So one day, probably about 5 years ago, he came home and said, I've developed this tool that I'm using on the golf course every time I spray. And I think it would help other guys. I think it would help other superintendents. And my answer to him was, well, if you think it could be a viable product, I mean, let me know when you're ready and we'll do it. And he worked on it for probably 4 or 5 years before we actually decided that we were going to go ahead and, before he came home to me and said, I'm ready. And I said, all right, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So he came up with the name, which was awesome. We filed for trademark and patent, and that's all done. That's an interesting process.
Mm-hmm, sure is.
And then we launched Spray Caddie. And what Spray Caddie is it's every time you spray greens, how do you cover the cup? You want to keep it clean, right? If you're spraying colorant and you don't put something in the cup, on it, over it, around it to keep the chemicals or any whatever liquid apps out of the cup, then it stains your cups and leaves residue, and it's just a mess. So Spray Caddie is a golf cup cover. There are some other inserts that you can put into a golf cup, but Spray Caddie is a golf cup cover. And what makes it so special and so ingenious, and Rob is so darn smart, is it's got this metal tab on it that when you use a magnetic wand, to attach it to the metal tab, it lifts it up without ever having to touch it. And that's what's the beauty of Spray Caddie, is that you can put the cup cover down, you can lift it up and never touch it. So all the material that is sprayed now on top of the cup cover doesn't get on your hands or your gloves or your cell phone or your steering wheel of your spray rig. And it has all the people at his course use it. And he says he just is delighted to watch other spray techs just get off their spray rig, and it comes with magnets that you can attach the wands to the spray rig. They just get out of the rig, grab the Spray Caddie wand without even thinking about it, walk over to the hole, cover the cup, get back on the spray rig, spray, get off the spray rig, lift up the cup cover, and go on about their day. And it's just become this thing that is standard operating procedure. And that's his brain that figured that out.
So
and
I get to give credit to your husband then for keeping my cups nice and white, because I've got a Spray Caddie and use it every time I spray. And I will also say that after I put the little marker down, I've used that thing to chip with a couple of times, and it's actually a pretty decent wedge, believe it or not.
That's amazing, Trev. That's amazing.
And have one of the cart dorks film me using it as a wedge, and you guys can use it as a little commercial or something.
That's not a
Send
bad
us a
idea.
video, we'll use it. I'm sorry we couldn't hear the whole thing.
We'll make it work. Don't worry.
That was it. It wasn't it. All the other is gone. I can't do it twice. That'd make me a hacky comedian.
Yeah, one and done. But I know I've heard from a couple superintendents that love how they can pick up the flag as well with the wand. You know, they go over the flag sitting on the side of the green, just pick it right up. Now you got both in your hand. You go over, and it's right back in the hole. So it's been great. We have one at our course too. It's been on the sprayer all year. It's never fallen off. You know, even if you're spraying fairways or tees or whatever, we leave it on there. And we've used the same cover all year too. It's obviously dark green at this point, but we haven't had to change out the covers. So if you're thinking, okay, I got to get a 6-pack and it's going to last me the whole year. No, like one cover could last you the whole year. Obviously, you know, putting greens and practice greens, you might want to have more, but that one cover has lasted us the whole season. So that's great.
Rob's been using the same set for the last 3 years.
There you go.
I know that.
Mm-hmm.
They're ugly. The Spray Caddie golf cup covers are covered in chemical and colorant,
Mm-hmm.
so that the cup is not. If you're trying to cover a practice green and you've got 6 or 9 holes, you can get the 6-pack or the 6-pack with Caddy plus the like 3 more and cover everything, and then just do everything and do the putting green in one pass. You don't
That's
have
right.
to get off and keep doing that. So it's been really, really fun hearing from other superintendents. I love that they like using the wand. I don't know about using it as a chipping iron, but
It seems like it works. So that's funny. You're going to get more guys using it now. I know I was golfing last week with a really good superintendent from this area. And so we're just out playing, talking about different stuff on the golf course and everything. And I said, so do you cover your cups on the course? And he kind of looks at me. He's like, we need a fucking spray caddy, bro. I didn't even have to say anything. He was just like, leave me alone. I know I need to get one. And it's like, fucking order one. Let's go.
Well, spraycaddie.com, we can help you. And actually, we're starting to create a stable of distributors too.
That's great.
Yeah. So pretty soon you'll have distributors coming to your course who are selling fertilizer, colorant, other stuff, and they'll have the Spray Caddie right there in the truck. That is happening now, but you can always order at spraycaddie.com.
There you go.
Yay.
Yeah, no, it's a great product. It needs to be on every spray rig, and it's I think it's worth the money because it's going to last a long time. It's not like one of those tools you're going to throw out after a few months. You're going to use it for years. So spend the money and get it, and it's gonna save you, even for top dressing too. Put it down before you top dress your greens. It keeps everything nice and clean. That flag goes back in. There's no sand.
Nice. Yeah, he keeps finding different ways to use it, and I think the key is that it was developed by an assistant superintendent, somebody who's actually saw a need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows better what superintendents need than other superintendents. And I would want to shout out to a couple other companies that are superintendent owned and developed. There's Rodney Hine and his wife Caroline are at Turf Trainer, and Jeff Stammen at Turfmend. When we first launched, both of those people reached out to us to offer help and guidance as current or former superintendents. Jeff's a former superintendent. Rodney's still a superintendent. And just to say what it was like for a husband-wife team, and Rodney and Caroline at Turf Trainer hooked us up with their patent attorney. I mean, once again, what an amazing industry. Golf course superintendents rock. That's why I married one.
That's awesome.
I use the Turfman products. I've talked with Jeff a bunch. It's another good route for divots and repair areas, bald spots, things like that. It's been awesome working with him.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
He still owes me a hoodie, but
Any fun stories for us? Anything come to mind that you thought of? Our fans love the funny, the quirky side of.
I mean, you wouldn't normally think of the GCSA as a place to meet your significant other or to go and hook up, but apparently it was the perfect dating scene for Rob and I. I mean, I was there.
You guys met at the conference?
He was there. I was there as an exhibitor, and he was there as a superintendent. And there were like 10,000 guys there and 100 women. And I was like, dude, you are the luckiest guy on earth. And I think it's a great golf love story.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's so cool. And you guys, work together a little bit with the Spray Caddie thing and do your own thing on the side, which is fantastic. So it's great to see those relationships that really hold strong like that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very grateful and blessed.
Right on. Well, if there's nothing else, then we'll let you go. This has been really cool having you on. Some really cool tidbits from other parts of the turf industry, other sports and stuff, which people have been asking us to get into a little bit more. So I think they're going to enjoy, the Olympic stuff and the Super Bowl stuff, and obviously getting to name a turf grass. That was really interesting for me too. So I really appreciate you joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stacie.
Thanks, Trevor. Drive safe. Stay dry.
It's 99 degrees and dry as all hell in Bakersfield, so I think we're pretty good here.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
All right. Enjoy your weekend, Stacie.
Go Birds. I think I'm out of the shitty serviced area. I'm in the middle of bumfuck California. They're the only structures within eyesight, which is miles, are little silos in like a distant farm. Other than that, it is just barren fucking land. I mean, it's farmland, but it's just the time of year where there's just nothing. There's oranges on my left, I think they're oranges, and then nothing on my right other than power poles. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice though, isn't it? No, not a fan.
This is the shithole of California.
Okay. This is what we do for our friends. Drive through the shithole.
Yeah, motherfucker better be appreciative. He is. He's stoked.
Nice.
I'm stoked. It'll be fun.
Have you not received a gnome yet? Is there a nice little gnome sitting on your front porch yet?
No, Dave said he's keeping it for a while.
Ooh, maybe he wants to have his episode first, or he wants to chat about things before he sends it to you.
I don't know what he wants to do. He can keep it if he wants. It's fine. He did say he is going to send it at some point. I'm not chopping at the bit for this insane story that's just played out through the 23 episodes now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's probably less than that. What episode did the gnomes come up in?
I feel like it was pretty early on.
It was definitely early on, but it wasn't episode 1.
It was around the Masters. No, you're right. It was around the Masters. We started in like February. So
that checks out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of voice talk, Dave, you said that there was other questions.
Yeah, there is. He actually asked us a follow-up. Have you ever gotten into a yelling match with a crew member in front of your crew?
No comment.
No comment. That's definitely a tough one. As a leader, if you are gonna, have something direct to say, you might want to, not be in front of a big group of people when that happens, but happens,
Depends on your management style. I don't hide anything. My crew knows everything about what's going on with everybody. It's also a different story for me because when I have full staff, I have 4 guys. So, everybody knows what's going on with everything at any given point. But my guys know, anyone who's worked for me or works with me, they know I don't bullshit. I don't pussyfoot around. I don't sugarcoat anything. If you need to be told something, you're going to be told it. And after I tell you it, I expect it to stay true, and then we're moving on to the next thing. There's no grudges being held or anything stupid like that. It's, I'm telling you how to do your job or what to do, and you need to do it. And it's simple as that. You know what I mean? So I definitely have gotten into it with people because they've come at me. I've sent guys home for coming at me or at another employee. There's been those kind of situations. But I don't like getting angry at work. It happens, obviously. It happens to everybody. But I'd much rather pump the brakes, send someone out on a drive on the course, or send them home and then deal with it later when everyone's level-headed. But yeah, it's definitely happened. I'm not going to get into any details on it because that's just, peeing in someone's Cheerios.
For sure. And it's really old school now too, right? You almost can't really yell at people anymore when you talk about coaching and teaching and that kind of stuff. You bullshit. Can't really. Yeah.
It's such bullshit. Fuck that. That I'm sick. It's so annoying that everything and everyone is going so soft. Like you can't handle someone like aggressively talking, or not even aggressive, assertively talking to you. You can't mentally handle that. You're fucked. Well,
Yeah, that's
there's
tough.
obviously there's things that shouldn't be done, but like if you can't handle criticism from somebody who may or may not have snapped for something that you've fucked up or aren't doing right, when that person's under a tremendous amount of pressure and what you've done just fucked everything up, you can't handle it. Like that's to me, honestly, it's pathetic. Like it's weak. It's fucking weak. Now, though, obviously, again, there's lines that you don't cross.
Right.
I don't know. That's just weak to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm still old school as shit.
No, well, you still could be a little bit old school, but it's, everybody does it differently. The guy I've worked for a long time, I've never really seen him blow his top, but I've worked for 2 different mechanics that have fucking snapped on the crew before. So, it's just different management styles or different personalities. I'm not one to yell. I'm not a yeller. Most people know that about me. But then that kind of plays against you sometimes, and you kind of get that reputation of, oh, he's soft or he's a bit of a pushover because he's not going to yell and scream. But you got to kind of take the good with the bad sometimes. I try and work more off respect. I'm going to give you all the respect that you deserve. It can be important, like you said. It's fucking our jobs are on the line sometimes, and kids are fucking around or people aren't paying attention, and yeah, it can be bad.
Yeah, I don't do well with stupidity.
There is that too. That's a problem as well. You still going?
I was, but
No?
I lost my steam. I was going to say that there's stupidity and incompetence that's really difficult for me to deal with, because it's just asinine. But like, if someone's out there trying their hardest, or they had a logical thought behind something that fucked up, then I'm totally cool. Like it's solved and figured out. Like if you had a logical thought behind your process that led to a fuck up, which happens, that's totally fine in my book. Like you were thinking, and there was a mistake made, right, or it was you thought and what you chose to do was just wrong, but you didn't know. There's a difference, and then you run into the guys who are just, for lack of a better term, you can bleep it out if you think people are going to be upset about that word. But you got some dumb people making dumb decisions sometimes, and that's when I blow my lid.
Yeah, when they're not being safe and there's money on the line too. Like, you got to fucking do your job properly here.
When it comes to an accident, I could give a fuck what happens to the equipment as long as the person's okay. And then it boils down to the equipment. Obviously it sucks, especially in my shoes. We can't afford to have equipment go down when it just goes down on its own without operator error. But like, if you're doing something stupid and you hurt yourself, that was something completely preventable. Like that is the worst. That is the most annoying thing on the planet. So where it's like, dude, you couldn't just throw on safety glasses. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, come on, fucking just be smart about it. Okay, so Snyder J, he goes, I wonder if you guys could shout out my new turf account. It's at Turf Golf Live. I stream all types of golf course jobs. So that's pretty cool. Hit him up. He also said, P.S. You guys are killing it. # Muffin Man. So that's from Snyder J. Yeah. Trav, you still there?
I'm here.
Trying to be. This one comes from Tyler Aarons, and we've had this one a number of times, so I'm not sure if he just missed this or not, but he was saying he's a high schooler and he's got 4 years of experience working at a golf course. Do we think he should go to college or work his way up?
I mean, you'll be good either way. If you can go to school and keep working, do both. If that's too much, just keep working. Or if you want to break physically, which you shouldn't at 18 years old, 19 years old, then go to school. But I mean, you can, and I mean, it depends on your living situation too. Like, are you still living at home? Are your parents letting you live there? Well, like, is money not a pressing issue, etc.? If you're still living at home, not worried about money, do both. If you have to move out or whatever, keep working.
Yeah. No, that makes the most sense because everybody kind of says you want to get some sort of education, right? Learn some of that.
Yeah, you can do the online programs. That's something you don't need to physically go into, that you can work and do school at your own pace. Like, and then it'll be majorly beneficial.
So, anybody dealing with stubborn, localized dry spots on their golf course? Aqueduct Flex from AquaTrolls provides rapid recovery of stressed turf in as little as 3 days. Flex is an industry favorite with an easy-to-use, resealable packaging that allows turf pros to treat problems on the go. Simply throw a bag in the cart and hit that LDS with some Flex while you make your morning rounds. It's also perfect for those high-traffic areas like greens, collars, and tee boxes. Treat or prevent LDS with a product that has true Flex appeal. And grab a bag for your shed today. Visit aquatrolls.com/flex for more information. Jeez, man, I got a batch right now. This is so bad.
You have a badge?
Yeah, a batch of fucking stinky farts. I'm ruining this room right now that I'm in.
Wow. I mean, that's about as probably as good as I'm going to sound on this podcast. Well, I'm back at full bars, so we're good.
Nice.
Rip another question, not another fart.
Donnie J13. What's the product to spray that has the worst smell? What the fuck?
Iron.
Wasn't even trying to segue that.
Iron? Adam's ass. Yeah, iron sucks, dude. I hate like the it's not even granular, like the powdered iron. That shit's awful. It sticks to your skin. It fucking seeps into your clothes, and it smells. It doesn't necessarily smell bad. It's just a weird, tangible smell, and it sticks on your clothes for fucking days. Yeah, iron sucks.
You're talking about that 6-iron product last episode. It's pretty nasty.
6-iron plus isn't as bad because it's got other things in it that kind of knock it down. I've had other just like straight iron. I don't remember what product. They're all older bags of iron that were at one of my previous courses, and that shit was like it ruined some of my shirts. Yeah, shit was gnarly.
Nice.
What about you? Other than your ass, what's the worst smelling thing that you spray?
I always know when there's propiconazole down on the golf course. For some reason, I'm just always like, "Oop, there it is." You can smell it. Fucking prop in the morning, baby.
Hypersensitive to the prop, huh?
Yeah. Follow your nose.
The more you know.
So why don't we jump into Collins here? I don't know where he's going with this one, but he's wondering if we've ever had anybody apply fairway grade fertilizer to the greens and not notice the prill size.
I haven't had it happen, but I know someone who's had it happen, and the dude was fired, and they thankfully caught it towards the end of the day and just blasted it with water and tried to get it off and tried to like water it in, and ultimately they didn't have too much damage. It kind of almost looked like a dollar spot on all of them, kind of like they were like spray paint like speckled. But yeah, I've heard of it being done, and it can fucking ruin your day.
Would it be bad too if you cut it? If you cut over that, ripped open all those prills?
Well, at least it would put smaller amounts of N and distribute it a little more, because I mean a micro grade fert is just going to be those bigger beads crushed down into smaller pieces. You know what I mean? For the most part. So I mean that probably wouldn't be the worst, other than you're putting a bunch of fert on your rollers now that can get elsewhere that you don't want it, and you know, obviously it's not the best scenario, but I mean, if you're a guy applying any kind of, should see it 3 steps into your walk. I'm assuming that it's being done with a walk spreader. Like how dumb are you that you don't notice that, or how clueless are you that you don't notice that after a maximum of 1 pass?
Yeah, you would know right away. I mean, well, dumping it in the fucking spreader in the first place, you should figure it out. But that's why, you know, if you're gonna send somebody out to do it, you're not gonna do it yourself. Make sure that fucking person knows what they're doing. They have all the directions, and maybe even give them the bag that they're gonna be using.
Yep, that's what
Right?
I
Make
do.
it easy on them.
I stack the bags up. I'm saying you're using this pile and this pile only. You do not touch
Yeah.
anything else. It is this pile.
Yeah, I think that's, because at the end of the day, it all comes back down on the manager, right? If that person ends up putting out the wrong product, well, they had the wrong training. They didn't do it right.
Yep. Pretty
So,
much.
okay. We had two guys reach out from the same golf course. And I'm not going to say the course or these guys' names or anything, but they're concerned because every day they go out and they're told to roll the greens and then cut the greens. And they're feeling that they're doing the wrong thing. So they reached out asking us, like, what do we think about that?
Well, you're being told to do something, therefore it's not the wrong thing per se. Your job is to do what you're told to do.
Mhm.
However, I'm not one to roll and then mow. That seems, to me, I'm with you guys, it seems kind of ass backwards. There might be a rhyme or reason to it.
There could be. I would love to hear it because I haven't seen that
Yeah,
before.
I'd like to hear about it as well. I mean, I've been at places where we've mowed, rolled, and then mowed again in the afternoon. You know, if we're preparing
Yeah.
for a tournament and we're lowering the height and things like that. It could
Mhm.
be that the greens are pretty wet and that people are playing with like really spiky shoes or really aggressive foot to make sure that there's no ball marks down before you mow or something. I don't know. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And try and make sense of that move. But I mean, ultimately, your super's decision, for whatever reason he may have, I mean, obviously, you guys aren't fighting it. You're curious, like we are, with the question. But like, I don't know. Ask him, like, hey, like, just out of pure curiosity. Don't be like, hey, we think you're wrong. Go, hey, out of curiosity, like, why are we rolling first? Like, I just want to know.
Yeah.
And if he's
That's the idea.
a decent superintendent, he's not going to be like, why the fuck are you asking me, and get all pissed off, you know? He'll give you an explanation, and then when you get that explanation, tell us so that we know too. Because
Yeah, I think you nailed it, man.
yeah.
Let me ask you this then about rolling and doing things before and after. Have you ever seen it where guys will cut the cup first, pull the cup up to the top of the rim, and then roll over that to press everything down nice, and then tap the cup back down with the flag?
No, that sounds like a lot of extra work that's not necessary.
I'm just asking if you've ever heard of it, or if anybody's ever heard of that. Because that way you're basically eliminating all the footprints and everything around the cup, but you also pulled the cup up, so you're not shrinking the cup, right? Because some people will change holes and then they'll roll over the hole, and the hole is now smaller. That's something we do at our course. We'll pull the cup up and have the roller go over, and it just makes this really nice, 2x2 or 3x3 area right around the cup, just fucking pure.
That makes sense. It sounds like an extra step that's not needed. But if you've got the staff or the skilled guys to do it, hell yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think you nailed it there. But if you had the right guys, if the guys are skilled enough and they're working together, they have to be on the green at the same time to be able to make this happen, right? So they have to work hand in hand. And maybe you're not doing it all the time, but for a big tournament or a big day or something, you get those really nice, good quality cups. So I don't know, reach out to us. Let us know if that's something you guys do or if you've heard of before, but it's or something you want to try, why not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it seems silly to me in my situation, but makes sense at least.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it's funny to change holes first and then roll over the hole because you are making it smaller. And then you're leaving it up to a different person to go in and put the cup in or put the flag in, sorry.
For me, it's the mowers and the rollers are going to be in front of the guy cutting the cups.
You should be the last person on the green, technically, right?
Yeah, the guy cutting the cup should be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that, so that's why it seems like it's an unnecessary step to me, because the guy should be rolling over a cup that's about to be plugged and pulled and moved anyway.
Right.
But,
yep.
Different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely. And let's finish with this one from Noah J. Pari. He says, have you ever hit a bump going a little too fast and everything flies out of the cart?
I've never yard sailed a cart. No, I've definitely hit
Nice.
hit them too fast and things they've definitely sprung up, but nothing has ever ejected out. But I've definitely tossed the bed before, for sure.
Oh yeah, everything's airborne for a second and then boom, right back down into the bed.
Yeah, never had the full yard sale though. We put out the sign, but no sale happened.
Sometimes it can be tough in like the heavy workman where the wheels are kind of underneath your ass. And you don't see a bump, and then all of a sudden, whoa, your feet and your legs are going up into the console.
You mean your fucking knees are going into your chin?
Yeah, they got to make that a little bit better. The guys with long legs, man, banging your knees off those things, it's not fun.
But you shouldn't be driving that piece of equipment like a jackass in the first place. So
Fair
that's
enough.
on you, not the manufacturer.
Oh no, they're doing a good job.
No one should be driving their car quickly or fast over areas that you're not, sure about. We all do it, no shit. Like that's, we all do it, no doubt. But like, we all know also that we shouldn't.
Right. We should not have the top dresser on two wheels, but it happens. It's one of those things, right?
Everyone knows, especially Dave, how gnarly it is to have to take a shit sometimes.
Race across the course.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, buddy, this has been fun. I'm glad you can join us from the car. The old Turf Today car cast.
Well, did you enjoy my photo this morning?
I did enjoy a little bit of your photo. It's obviously a little bit of work for you to have to do, but it brought a little smile to my face because you hate the public so much, and you go into work and that's what you see, and it's such a beautiful sight, but also it's like the fucking things in the pond. So like, god damn it. Is there a story? Is there a good story at least?
No, it was these three drunk fucking idiots who brought in a 12-pack of White Claws, which legally you can't bring your own alcohol to a golf course. It's like bringing your own alcohol to really do it. Everyone does it.
No one's ever done that. Come on, what are you talking about?
Shut the fuck up. We've all done it. Whether it be a couple of silver bullets still in the bag or whatever. But like these dudes brought a case of it. They're clearly not actual like golfers. They're three dipshits who thought it would be fun to go get fucked up on the course. And this is the 18th hole, and it's 15 yards off the cart path, and you have to jump a curb. So and these carts don't go fast, so we knock the governors down quite a bit. There's two options. Either they're extremely stupid, and I'm talking certifiably institutionalized stupid, or they did it on purpose. And there's a photo of the three of them in the water because it's it's a man-made pond. It's not deep. It's probably knee deep. They're in the water, and I guess they took a note. Our people in the pro shop got their names and numbers because they already signed out for the cart. So they're going to be banned from the course. But one of them was like, "Oh yeah, I'd like to file a claim. I hurt my back while trying to lift the cart out of the water."
Pardon me.
And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like what?
Nobody asked you to lift that out of the water. We're gonna need a tractor for that, idiot.
It only took me about 10 minutes to get it out, and I did it by myself. It really wasn't that bad. I had to get into the water to hook it up to the cart and like roll my pants up past my knees and shit.
Yeah.
But the water was oddly like lukewarm. So at least it wasn't like freezing cold. But we got it out, and it smelled like probably your room right now with the pond muck. And yeah, it was a good way to start the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, I think that would have really pissed me off getting that photo at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But now it was just kind of like I just started laughing. I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" Like,
yeah.
I literally texted my GM. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Yeah, so that was a good way to start the day. Was yanking that out. I'm surprised there's only 3 comments on the page on it, and the only good one was "Hey, I don't think you're supposed to park there," which really isn't that clever or creative, but it still made me giggle.
It's still a good one, yeah.
It's like a C+ dad joke. Oh shit. Oh, I got an exploded tire all over the place and people hitting brakes. Oh shit.
Ooh.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm in fucking Mario Kart now, dodging shells.
Yikes.
Yeah, we're all good. Now now we're moving 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Sick.
What about shows or movies? Have you seen any good shows or movies lately?
You know, I heard the Barbie movie's awesome.
Fuck off. You know it's not.
Oh, dude, those tomatoes all over the ground. What the fuck is going on here?
Where are you?
Central California, baby. Yeah, dude, it's covered in fucking tomatoes. Oh, there's the tomato truck. He lost his cover. Oh, dude, there's literal mountains of tomatoes on the ground and people are going through. We go, oh, he blew his tire and it fucking opened the side of the goddamn trailer. Oh, shit.
Are
Dude,
people grabbing tomatoes?
No, dude, we're in the highway in the middle of fucking nowhere. They're driving through it and making roadside marinara. Oh my God. That was wild. That was so many tomatoes. Dude, that's literally thousands of tomatoes. That was anyone in California or the Central Valley, California, you've seen the giant tomato truck. So I don't know if you've seen them or not, but it's a literal semi with two giant, probably 30, 40-foot trailers that are, 10, 12 feet deep, full of tomatoes.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm like literally thousands of tomatoes. Oh dude, that was nuts. That was really cool. I'm glad that I didn't run any over because I have a white car, so it looked like I killed someone. Shit, in retrospect, I should have done it considering I'm going to my in-laws.
Yeah, maybe. Oh well. Well, the good people of Great Value will get out there and start jarring some of that marinara sauce up for the Walmart Italians, right?
God damn it, that was funny. As soon as you said Great Value, I was like, he's gonna bring up his fucking Walmart Italian joke.
Here he goes.
Repeat customer. All right.
Yeah.
Are you looking to eliminate surface pooling and increase playability on your golf course? If so, HydroWick Drainage is your cost-effective, long-term solution. HydroWick's ability to provide efficient and effective drainage coupled with its low cost and minimally invasive installation process makes it the ultimate tool to enhance your surface quality. HydroWick Drainage is a 1-inch heat-treated fiberglass element with the stainless steel core that is installed 6 to 12 inches below the playing surface. It is backfilled with a sand curtain to the surface to enhance drainage and deliver immediate results following heavy rainfalls. HydroWick can be installed on the tee decks, fairways, approaches, and on the greens. If you want to minimize downtime and maximize playtime, visit their website at hydrowickdrainage.com.
So yeah, no, the reason I asked that is one of my buddies was saying, you guys did your top 5 comedians, you should do top 5 movies. And I was like, oh my God, top 5 movies. I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm such a movie guy. I've seen so many. Top 5, but I'll challenge you with that.
In no particular order. The other guys.
You have it ready right now? You have that list ready? Wow.
I'm free balling.
Yeah.
The other guys, Shutter Island, Sandlot. Oh man. Fuck, I'm blanking on the name of it. Oh, Full Metal Jacket and Super Troopers.
Ooh, nice.
There we
go. All right. Well, yeah, no particular order. This is tough.
Off the top of the head, 5 right there.
Yeah.
And it's regularly rotating. I think permanent fixtures up there are definitely like The Other Guys. I fucking love that movie. It's one of the funniest movies ever. And then Full Metal Jacket is probably a resident in the top 5, and everything else kind of shuffles around.
Nice. All right. Off the top of my head, I was gonna say let's wait till next week and think about this one, but off the top of the head, it's always fun too. Well, I'm probably gonna have a couple baseball movies in there because I'm a baseball guy. But I Am Legend with Will Smith, fucking rights.
That's a good one.
Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner. It's definitely on there. It's a father-son. Yeah. 310 to Yuma, one of the greatest fucking westerns ever made.
Never seen it.
And like recent day western, dude, you have a fucking movie waiting for you. It's called 310 to Yuma. Amazing
I
cast and
heard,
movie.
heard that the first time you
Yeah.
said it. I'm glad
Okay.
you
Okay.
told me.
Fuck off. I was a big Johnny Depp Blow fan. I used to love watching that movie. That was a
Are
good
you not a
one.
fan of him anymore because he apparently like shits on chess or something?
I don't know. I haven't watched that documentary. It's on my list. I didn't follow the whole Amber Heard story, but I'm gonna watch that one. Get into it.
That sounds like a complete waste of time.
Okay. Well, I
I
don't
mean,
know
that's
anything
my
about it, so that's the only
opinion.
way I'm gonna learn about it.
I think
Yeah.
I mean, they did it to themselves because they agreed to it and they're going to make some money off of it. But why would you want to put your divorce on public display?
Good point.
But hey, they did it. Obviously, they had to have okayed it for it to be a thing. So, you know, do as you choose. But I don't know. Whatever. Go on.
All right, what that was 4, eh? One more? Yeah, there'd be a bunch of baseball ones on there. Oh boy, like The Natural's a good one. I was trying to think of a good golf movie to put on there. What about Bagger Vance? That's another Will
I've
Smith
still
movie.
never seen it,
Fucking love
believe it
that
or
guy.
not.
Oh, buddy. Start
Yeah, I know.
writing these down. You got a couple good ones for you here. Fuck.
I've tried to find it. It's not. I'm cheap as shit. I'm not going to pay to rent a movie. And like Tin Cup, which I watched a very, 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 very long time ago, and then Legend of Bagger Vance aren't free anywhere.
Yeah, that's true, eh? Yeah, and to pay to rent those movies now, that's hard.
Well, it's not
That's tough to
hard. You
do.
just have to do it. I'm just a cheap son of a bitch. I'm not going to spend $4 to watch a movie once. When I spend,
That happens.
10 to
You miss
15 a
those.
month for a streaming service, I'll just wait for it to be free.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes you miss good movies. I was working with a guy the other day. We were talking about Remember the Titans. He's like, I haven't seen that. We're all like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? That's one of the greatest movies ever.
Very close to being on my top 5. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, that could be there with Denzel and the boys. That's a movie.
I love that someone made a meme that said, of course Ryan Gosling is Ken. He was once the most what the fuck was it? It was like he was once the weakest spot on the Titans defense or something like that.
That's
That
good.
shit was funny.
That's good. Yeah, he's just rolling in it right now. So like, just laughing at us, that guy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Ryan Gosling is a humongous fan of our show. Fuck, I just missed my exit. Way to go. Thank you.
Damn it. Okay, well, let's end it. This has been fun.
Well, no,
keep those reels sharp. Keep those tires on the road.
It was just a route that would have saved me 7 minutes. So I didn't really miss anything.
Well, put on some good music. Or maybe a podcast.
I was gonna go back to my I was gonna go back to my Small Town Murder podcast.
There you go. Trev loves his murder podcasts. You should tell one of those stories one time on one of these, like one of your best ones, one of your favorite that you've heard, because there's some fucking crazy stories out there on these things.
Oh, that's good. I thought you were talking about one of my murders that I've done. Okay.
We can get into that too if you need. This is a safe place.
Now, although we did start with today that I thought was funny and probably really dark, is when I texted you, I was like, "Oh, are we still doing the show?" And you said, "Yeah, I got to put my son down." And obviously you're talking about putting him to sleep, but my first reaction was like, "Oh no, what did he do?"
Yeah. What did he do this time?
Oh man, that was horrible, but I thought it was hilarious. All right.
Well, all right, buddy. Well, have a good weekend. Be safe. Hopefully your course is okay and you guys have fun.
Dude, it's going to be an interesting drive home. I might have to leave Saturday night, and I'm supposed to play golf with my buddy Sunday morning before I leave. But depending on this weather, I might have to leave right out like tomorrow night and get home at like 3 o'clock in the morning, just so that I don't get stuck in Los Angeles in a fucking hurricane. Because if anything's going to make Los Angeles worse than what it already is a hurricane.
Oh, we can't seem to have an episode without a shit or fart story, though, or being a part of the show, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Shitty jokes.
That trend needs to be wiped away and flushed for sure. I was just thinking about that too.
Okay. let's put the poop jokes away.
Such
Everybody.
low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So you guys have any
fuck.
requirements to be on turf today? No stories about taking shits.
Yeah. Leave the shitty stories away.
I'm way too hopped up on caffeine right now. Holy shit,
He's buzzing.
dude. Yeah. All right. See ya.
See you, buddy. Take care.